May I now request Honorable Chancellor, sir, to present the Honoris Causa Degree to Mr. Puneet Chandok. Hello. Yeah. Now I request Dr. Puneet Chandok to please come up on stage and give his acceptance speech.
Honorable Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, the faculty and the students, it's such an honor, such a privilege to be here today and receive this recognition. I've had so much respect for the Times Group and the Bennett University. I think the focus on creativity, the focus on ethics, the focus on social impact is something that resonates with me personally. And it also resonates with the Microsoft mission, as you said, sir, empowering every person, every organization on the planet to achieve more. So I just want to start by saying thank you. Thank you to the university. Thank you to the Times Group. We all stand on shoulders of giants, and so do I. So I want to thank all my colleagues at Microsoft, at AWS, at McKinsey, at IBM, every other company I've had the privilege to work with. It's been an incredible bunch of colleagues who pushed me forward. Also family, nothing's more important than family. I've always believed that no amount of success at work is worth one failure at home. No amount of success at work is worth one failure at home. And my family has not let me fail. My parents, my sister, my two kids, my wife, Priyanka, she couldn't be here today. She wanted to be. But it's just they've been an incredible source of strength and inspiration. And the belief they've had in me has really helped me. Now to some reflections. I thought I'll share some quick ideas. Since there's so many students graduating today, moments like these allow you to reflect on life. And I was reflecting on just my life and how it's turned out. And I thought I'll share just 2 or 3 learnings that I've had. But before I go there, I thought I'll tell you a quick story. Anybody here has read the Ernest Hemingway book, The Sun Also Rises? It's an old book. I think the crowd, at least in front of me, is very young, so I don't think you've read it. It's a 1926 book. But there's a character in that book. There's a character called Mike. And Mike is having a lot of financial trouble in life, so Mike is asked a question. How did you go bankrupt, Mike? How did you go bankrupt? And Mike thinks about it for a long time and then says 2 ways. Gradually and then suddenly. Gradually and then suddenly. And the reason I'm telling you this Ernest Hemingway story is because I can't find a better metaphor for life. Life around you is just, it looks very gradual, both on the upside and the downside. But then suddenly things change. And that's how my life has been. And you have to stay at it. You have to grind gradually, and it feels slow and frustrating. But then success does appear suddenly. And if I look back at my life and my story, I think there are 3 principles or 3 ideas that I'll share with you that have kept me in good stead. The first is belief. And I've always believed that belief comes before ability. Belief comes before ability. Especially in our country, the lack of belief kills more dreams than any ability. And over time in life, you realize that people look at you the way you look at yourself. And if you're not looking at yourself in the right way, people will not look at you the right way. The world doesn't have the time to come around and hold a meeting and decide your value. That decision is yours. So the first learning I've had is truly believe. We're all malnourished on ambition. So don't. Life is too short to think little and start with belief. The second is ability. You can't just have belief, you also need ability. And for me, ability comes from three ways. what I know, who I know, and how I'm known as. What I know, who I know, and how I'm known as. And it starts with what I know. And you need brutal intellectual honesty. Some of the smartest people I've worked with in my life say, I don't know all the time. They just say, I don't know all the time. Every time somebody around me tells me I've got it, I get worried. Because none of us have got it. The opposite of knowledge today is not ignorance, it's the illusion of knowledge. Seriously, it's the illusion of knowledge. And the other thing you realize in life is it's very hard to get better and look good at the same time. Right? You can't get better and look good at the same time. A mountaineer friend of mine told me once that, are you climbing the mountain to see the world or for the world to see you? I think that's a good metaphor for life as well, right? You're climbing the mountain to see the world, not for the world to see you. And the other thing about just learning is changing behaviors. When you can't get fit by watching others go to the gym, believe me, I've tried it, doesn't work. You have to go to the gym every day yourself. So seriously, just learning is about changing behavior. And so that's the first thing, what I know. Second is who I know. This relationships run this world. Like one relationship can change your life. And every opportunity I've had in my life, every interesting opportunity that came my way, came through relationships. And very early in my career, I thought the way to build relationships is to be smart. I had a list of idioms and quotes and maxims like a Yoda. But over time, you realize it's not about trying to be smart. It's about getting people around you to feel smart. You have to be interested, not interesting. This is reverse charisma at play. Right? And the more open you are to receiving other people's stories versus telling your stories all the time is how you build deep relationships. And then third is how you're known as, which is energy. And I can tell you, all the kids who are graduating, energy and enthusiasm are worth 25 IQ points. The energy you bring to everything is worth 25 IQ points. And people like me need those points, and I can promise you, you need those points as well. As a leader, as you get out in the industry, you're not allowed to have a bad day. Like, I'm not allowed to have a bad day. Like, the least important meeting for me might be the most important meeting for the people I'm meeting. So you have to keep your energy up. You have to keep your enthusiasm up. Some leaders bring joy wherever they go. Some leaders bring joy whenever they go. You have to choose where you are and choose wisely. So what I know, who I know, and how I'm known as is ability. And then the last thing, which is a sense of enough. Like, all of us have this future oasis of relaxation. Like, when I was young, I said, listen, when I get this amount of money and when I get this designation, I would have arrived and I'll enjoy life. That's a seductive idea. It's not true. Life is happening now. Like, I had this idea that I'm going to work very hard and one day I'll reconcile with my family and my friends and my health. I failed miserably. You can't do that. Life is happening now. So don't wait. Don't wait. So those are the three things, folks. Belief, it comes before ability. Ability from what I know, who I know, and how I'm known as. And then finally, a sense of enough. Don't lose that. Don't lose that. With that, once again, thank you. Thank you to the Bennett University. Thank you to the Times Group. Thank you to the faculty. Thank you to the students. It's an honor. It's a privilege. It's re-energized me. I'm going to go at this harder. I'm going to work harder on my belief, on my abilities, and my sense of enough. But I'll also use the platform that I have to give back and to push more and get this next generation of leaders wherever I work to be even more effective. So once again, folks, stay at it. Keep grinding. Keep working hard. Keep working on belief and ability and sense of enough. And I can promise you it will feel gradual, but one day success will appear suddenly and you will be out there. So I wish you all the very best and thank you once again.
Thank you, Dr. Puneet.